But if you do this, especially when fully loaded, actually break very easily. It's kind of sad. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. On this episode, I want to cover something I've covered numerous times with shorts, and I think I did a video way in the past when I first started YouTube, but that is the Milwaukee Packout for your fishing tackle storage, organization, and how you transport it to the water. So I've been using Milwaukee Packouts now for quite some time, actually a really long time, pretty much since they've came out. When I really was in construction for organizing my screws and tools and everything else, and I still do that, I'm just not in the field anymore, so I don't use it as much for my tools. But I still use the Milwaukee Packouts for organizing all my fishing tackle, my kayak gear, like things that I take with me when I'm on the road to help do repairs and stuff to kayaks. So I carry a bin full of all like quarter 20 stuff, Yak Attack stuff, all sorts of things, you know, extra paracord, Yak Attack parts. I carry it all with me. So when I'm on the road and something breaks, I always have it with me. So that's one thing I use the Milwaukee Packouts for as far as kayak fishing and fishing in general. I may be getting a boat in the future. I'm up in the air about that. I'm always going to be kayak fishing, so don't worry that I'm not going to stop doing that. But I may add a boat to the arsenal, and this is just going to help me down the line as well, too. So I like these for many, many reasons. A, they stack together. They are IP65 rating. Somebody asked me in the past, do they float? And yes, they do float because there is a gasket on this, so there is air trapped inside here. So this is fallen off my kayak before, and when it goes in the water, it just floats on the top. Another good thing is, too, that we know a lot of the tackle boxes today are about the same price as what these cost. But if you do this, especially when fully loaded, they actually break very easily. It's kind of sad because a lot of these companies out there, not saying their tackle boxes are bad, but when you drop them, especially fully loaded with terminal tackle, it goes everywhere. It breaks, it cracks. And speaking of going everywhere, you know, as far as my terminal tackle, you can see how this is kind of organized. This is just my extra stuff. But when these things drop, no matter what, because of these dividers and how they have the indentation on the lids, it keeps all your gear in the actual pockets that you have them set in. So that's a great thing. You know, a lot of these tackle boxes just have those slide-in dividers, and they're getting better with them because they're charging you more for them. But, you know, they slide in, but they still tend to move some. And I know some of the newer ones out there have prevented that now. But a lot of those little cheap sliding dividers just kind of break apart, and all your terminal tackle, especially all your small stuff, just gets all mixed together, and you're sitting there for, you know, hours upon hours every time it happens to get it reorganized and slide those little dividers in. So, you know, these are a great option for your fishing tackle and to transport them. And there's a lot of things you can do with these besides just your fishing tackle. So really for fishing tackle, more or less these thinner ones are a good size. But if you have big swim baits, etc., they make the deeper ones. I mean, these will cover pretty much everything that we use. And another good thing is too, is you can take your extra fluorocarbon, should probably have a rubber band around that. You know, you can transport your fluorocarbon inside here, your fishing line, and really dispense it from here if you want. And it keeps it all together too. So that's another way to transport your gear, especially when you're on the road, or just keep it organized at your house. And if you really, 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 really need some deep storage solutions, they have bigger ones like this too, and you can put some really big swim baits in here, and they have more dividers. I just don't have it in this one. But I prefer the thinner ones like I have here for my fishing tackle, just because, like I said, it covers most of everything that we do. They're thinner, and the good thing about when they're thinner, what I'll do is if I have to take a lot of tackle with me on my kayak, besides using my Yak Attack track packs, is I'll lock these things together, and I could slide 4 of these underneath my new canoe seat. My Hobie seat, I think I was able to fit 4, actually 3, I think, stacked on top of each other. So you could stack these, you know, 3, 4 deep, and slide them underneath your kayak chair or on your boat, and, you know, in the storage compartments in your boats as well. What I do is I normally just label the face of these to what they are. So when you're looking at it, you can just know what you have in what box. So I keep these with me all the time in my trailer, and then the times when I use just my truck bed to go kayak fishing, I line the bed of my truck with these, with the integral truck locking back plates for the Milwaukee Packouts, which I just did a video on that. If you guys have missed that, I'll probably put it at the end of this video so you can see. And I'll lock these in the integral truck back plates, and they're locked inside my truck bed. So I can have the kayak in the middle of my truck bed, all my tackle locked around it, lock my kayak to my truck, and it's a way to transport your tackle with your kayak in the bed of your truck and keep it secured. And people are going to say, well, how do you keep your stuff secured when they're in your truck bed on the integral truck plates that they make? Is that there's a little padlock ring right here, and that's really reinforced through the Packout. And what I do is I use little combo padlocks, so they're all comboed alike, and I can individually lock these in my truck bed. And I'm going to show you how I have them set up in my trailer, and I'll show you what I mean in my truck bed about transporting these, and show you all the cool little things you can do with these. Now, when I had the rack on my truck, which I may be going back to, you know me, I'm all over the place. I had the integral truck universal plates on my Yakima ladder rack. Maybe I'll put that video at the end of this too. You had the universal mountain plates where I could lock all my Packouts to my truck sides of my ladder rack. So I had these Milwaukee Packouts all over the place, and they've been on my truck with me since day one. They're also in my trailer as well, but you always have to come up with a solution to lock your gear up, and that's another way to do that. I will show you how I have them set up in my trailer, and I'll show you what I mean about inside my truck bed. So inside my trailer, I just have the standard Milwaukee Packout mounting plates screwed to the side of my trailer. So all those things do is just lock into those plates. Obviously my trailer's locked, so I don't have to have a locking plate from Integral in my trailer, but I just line those up, and I always have all my extra gear with me, my components for fixing kayaks, doing electrical repairs, and also my tools and stuff too. So I'll show you what that looks like when they're all lined up in there. So I just want to show you the inside of some of my boxes, but this is my shallow crankbaits, and you can see I carry a lot in there, and I got them labeled like 2 to 3, that's how deep diving they go, and then I got 3 to 5, 4, 6, 5, and not available means that this is just, I forgot how deep they go, so I gotta test it out. That's how I have it kind of labeled, and I just use a label machine. So as I change this up, I can just use a label machine to change the depth or however I want to organize this, whether it's terminal, tackle, or whatever. And what's cool too is that these trays come out. You can move them around from Packout to Packout, and if you want, you can take all these trays out and have a larger opening for just like miscellaneous stuff, you know, tackle, larger tackle, etc. too as well, like bigger swim baits, spinner baits. My spinner baits fit in these larger ones here, and you just move those dividers around. You know, they come with the dividers right here that you can slide around and move around. You can add, you know, here I don't have any dividers in this one. You can add dividers, you know, going this way or this way, and my spinner baits fit perfectly in here, and I'll show you that one too as well. And as they stack and lock together, it's just an easy way to stack them together, and you can just carry them to where you need to take them, and it makes it very easy to transport all your tackle boxes together. So we're just going to put these back where we want them. And this is just my extra stuff, guys. This ain't all my stuff. You can see in here I keep my chatter and spinner baits. You can see my spinner baits fit perfectly inside this tray when you take the divider out. They'll actually fit in here too as well, but you can just move things around and organize these and label them however you want to do it and set these up nicely. And I tell you right now, these Packouts here, I think the group I have inside my trailer here are probably about 7 years old, if not more, and they just been lasting. Some of them are dirty, some of them are faded, but still, once again, they are just durable boxes. So you can see how I have them set up in my trailer. You can double stack them, triple stack them, and these things just hold very well on the wall. It works out very well for me when I'm on the road to have pretty much all my extra tackle with me, organized, easy to get to, easy to find, and it's right there on the wall for me to grab and get set up for the next day of fishing. Now as for my truck, this is what I was talking about with the integral truck plates. So I can load up the back of my truck, slide my kayak in, put all my fishing tackle on my plates, lock it. Now you can see you're not getting that off, so it stays with me and everything stays secure, and I just run a little padlock with the combo lock through the Packout itself. So in my garage I mounted just a single plate that you can get for Milwaukee Packouts, and what I do is if I want to bring everything inside the garage is I'll grab all my boxes and I'll just keep stacking them up all the way up to here, and everything is labeled, so I know I have all my boxes here and what box is what. And if I want to get just to the box in the middle, I just take that one off, take these 2 boxes, you know, take the 2 boxes, go to the bottom, etc. And I can just take them all and separate them apart and get to my gear. You know, even with the bigger boxes, you can take all these out which I do a lot. And you can just have one wide open thing, carry rope in here, extra paracord, everything that you need to take with you on the go, and stack it together with all your other gear, and just have like one big traveling Milwaukee Packout carrying case of all your tackle and gear and everything else. I just love that they lock together, you know? So here's one little tip. Say if you have 7 of these together, or whatever, 8, 9. What I normally do is if I'm carrying them all together and I have like, 11 or 12 of them, I will always go to the odd size, 11 or whatever. And I basically find the center. So you have 2 on each side or 3 on each side, etc. Find that odd one in the middle. And that's your center point for carrying these, to carry them, so you're not like lopsided carrying it like this. Just stack them together in an odd number and carry it by the middle handle, and it just keeps it balanced very well. So just to recap, guys, I just want to do a quick little video on this and show you. You can customize these in so many different ways. They stack together, lock together. You can drop them numerous times. I can't tell you how many times I've dropped these. Not once have they broken or cracked. They float on the water, and they're about the same price as like the better tackle boxes that are out there. And I will still say that these beat every tackle box just for the durability of them. And when you drop them, because these were designed to carry screws, these indentations keep all your little tiny things together. Every time you drop it or it gets shaking around while you're transporting it, in the back of your truck, in your trailer, etc. It can take all that vibration and bounce, and nothing gets misplaced. So that's a big part for me too. Like I said, their float, IP65 rating, they just work very well. I used to have Packout plates up here on the wall, but then I realized they were too high for me to always reach. But you can just mount these things anywhere you want with either the integral truck plates that lock. A lot of people are making Milwaukee Packout adapters, plate versions of it, or just like 3 tabs you can mount to something. I think was it Built Right or whatever, has tabs now if you have like almost like the Molly panels lined inside your truck. So everybody makes adapter plates for Milwaukee Packouts. So that should tell you right there how popular they are. And all you gotta do is go to Home Depot or go to Milwaukee.com, I guess, whatever, and they'll send you to a place where you can get these. Milwaukee Packout stuff is sold at a lot of places online. Probably even Amazon has them. I never bought them from there. I always buy them from Home Depot. I know Acme Tool, Ohio Tool, but yeah, if you just go on Home Depot or even Milwaukee.com and you go through the Packouts guys and you go to say, buy or purchase, they give you a list of online vendors. So if you're far away from a Home Depot or whatever, you can get them shipped to your house for the same price anyway. And a lot of places, once you spend over like $50, it's free shipping. So they're easy to get. They are super durable. I can't keep saying how durable they are. And it's just a great design for tackle boxes. I mean, you can really, a lot of people make even 3D inserts for these where you can actually take these. Let's pull one of these out real quick. And you could split this. Milwaukee doesn't have it set up that way because the tabs come out and you can go this way or that way. But people made 3D inserts, printed inserts that you can separate into 4 little sections. So that's great for terminal tackle. People make modification for Milwaukee Packouts. Like I said, a lot of 3D printed stuff. So it's big in the construction industry, the automotive industry. But to me, I think they should really be big in the fishing industry. I mean, I do a lot of videos with the Milwaukee Packouts for fishing tackle. I'm sure somebody from Milwaukee maybe has seen them. I'm surprised that nobody else. I know a lot of other, not a lot, but I've heard people say, oh yeah, I use Milwaukee Packout for my fishing tackles too. But I know not everybody's on social media, not everybody's on YouTube, but I know there's a lot more people than just me that use Milwaukee Packouts for fishing tackle organization and transportation of your fishing gear. So I think it's cool, guys. I like it, especially with the mountain plates from everybody besides Milwaukee. You can mount these things and lock them up anywhere you need to mount them and have all your gear with you. So that's about it, guys. If you guys have any questions, any comments, I'm sure I missed something that I want to cover. I think I got the big key points of Milwaukee Packout for fishing tackle, but that's it, guys. I just want to do a little bit more in-depth video of how I transport them, how the inside of my boxes look, and the options that are out there for 3D printing. And you can really divide these things up and have some really fun with them. So thanks for stopping by. As always, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you in the water. See you soon.